Hey Antonio, how you doing?
Hey Alba, how are you?
Good,
Good to
good.
have you online again.
I know. Hey, I was just thinking about how long it's been since we've been talking together.
Oh my God, it's been a few years already, right?
Yeah, it was 2014,
Okay, yep.
June, and it was in our QHHT level two
Level
class that
two
we met.
class. Yep, I remember. I
You remember
remember.
that?
Yep.
Yeah,
And
we,
we
we
just talked in that class for a couple of minutes, and then we connected at the airport when we were
yeah,
going back, and then exchanged some Facebook accounts, and we started the communication that way. And from then
yeah.
on, it's been like what, every other day at least?
Yeah, well, for a while we were talking almost every single day,
Mm-hmm.
sharing information about hypnosis and learning and growing. And even when I do my interviews, I always say that you were such a great influence in
Oh,
pushing
thank
me
you. Thank you.
to put this stuff online because I was not real keen on showing myself.
I remember when I tell people that you were shy, you were not feeling like guided to upload videos, they would not believe me, right?
You had to like push me like every day
That's
to
good.
upload one of these videos. So I really appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. It turned out really good. You're well known now.
Yeah. And we went from doing QHHT then to discovering Aurelio Mejia.
Right.
And
That's
go
correct.
ahead and describe some of that because that was
Right.
what really changed everything.
Yeah. Actually, what happened is that after reading the book Many Lives, Many Masters by Brian Weiss, I felt that that's what I needed to do. I was in a search all this time. I was in a search. I knew I wanted to help people. I learned a couple more modalities, but they were not enough. So I said, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to do past life regressions. I want to practice hypnosis and help people. Um, so I first ran into Aurelio Mejia, believe it or not, and that week I happened to be on vacation. I spent my week vacation, one of my vacation weeks, watching videos, one after the other, one after the other one. And I
Binge
said,
watching.
just watching. I didn't know anything about hypnosis. I said, this is what I want to do. I contacted Aurelio, and at that time he was not or training people. He was not traveling to the U.S. I was not able to go to Colombia because of my full-time job. So I put that on hold. But one of my cousins told me about Dolores Cannon. I didn't know anything about her. I Googled her, watched some videos. I was impressed. Went to the website, and she said there that she trained people. So I said, oh, this is what I want to do. That's how I took the QHST level one. Back then there were only two levels, right? Level one, level two. We met at the level two, and then as my practice progressed, I felt that there were stuff that I needed, that we were missing something, that
Yeah.
we could do more for clients because my clients were experiencing different things during the session that QHHT did not cover. So that's how I was able to connect to Aurelio again. Believe it or not, I was lucky enough to host him in Charlotte, North Carolina, 2 years in a row, and
Yeah.
basically he came, he stayed in my house, and we did sessions. Whenever he posted his website, he's going to a specific city, it's completely
Hmm.
booked within a few days. So the first
Right.
week we had like, I don't know, like 38 sessions, something like that. It was like six a day, and then two more. I don't know how he did it. It was
He
exhausting, but
only spends 2 hours with a
yeah, two
client.
hours, really fast.
Yeah.
And then the
Hmm.
following year, we only did, again, 1 week, but just five a day. And that's how I was able to get on my training and all the practice. And then
Yeah.
the rest is history, right?
Yeah. And then I wasn't able to make it to your house that year because I had already scheduled to go to Los Angeles
Right,
that
right,
weekend.
right.
And and then I ended up going to Colombia and spending like 11 days with him there, which
Uh-huh.
was fantastic. And I also hosted him here in Miami,
And it's,
a year ago, in
yeah,
September.
yeah.
So yeah, it's been amazing. He's
He's,
been an amazing
he,
person to
yeah, he's
learn from.
an amazing teacher. He's a very special person, very humble, and I learned
Mm,
a lot about him. And
mm,
I'm really grateful. I learned about a lot about from Dolores canon as well, and I'm grateful
Yeah,
to both of them. And yeah, I
me too.
remember when he was coming to Charlotte, I invited you to come so we could train with him. I also invited Genoveva Calleja, who
Hmm.
also is a QHHT practitioner, and she was
Yes.
able to make it here. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the three of us basically that know the same techniques, right? QHHT
Right.
and introspective hypnosis.
Right. And my hesitation to seeing him right away also is because I did need to get a certification from Florida to
Right.
be a
Okay.
hypnotherapist before I began practicing.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
while I was doing that, I was also learning to be a clinical and transpersonal
Right.
hypnotherapist.
Right. And everything happens when it's supposed to happen. And you had a
Yeah.
beautiful experience. You were able to go to Colombia, see him in his own
Uh,
office with his own clients
and his
and
own family.
and the family. So
Yeah.
yeah, I have not been able to do that yet. I was planning to do
Yeah.
this that this year, but my plans
Hmm.
changed. But sometime,
Hmm.
and but it's
Yeah,
awesome.
I learned more about how to be a good human being from him
Yeah.
actually than the hypnosis, because we have been practicing hypnosis for a while
Hmm.
when I actually went to see him, and he is such an amazing human being.
That is correct.
He does things for people that not in in hypnosis, in
Hmm.
actual life.
Hmm.
I got to ride around the car with him and be with him while he's
Hmm.
interacting with people, and oh my God, I learned so much about how to be a good human,
Right.
just by being around him.
I mean, that is, I guess, one of the biggest lessons I learned from him.
Hmm.
It is true. We do charge for the sessions. We live
Yes.
in a third dimension, and we have bills to pay. But this is not about money. This is not a
Mm.
business. And Aurelio, whenever he needs to give a free session to whoever needs it, he doesn't think about
Hmm.
it twice. He
Right.
doesn't worry about the money, and the money flows for him.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I
Yeah.
mean. So it's so good.
So now you finally talked me into this new venture with you.
Okay. I,
This is what we want to talk about today. Uh,
okay.
you've been teaching this method now for a little while.
Yeah, it's been a year. It's been a year.
Mm, yeah.
After practicing this for some time, I felt the need to start sharing this knowledge with others, to share this technique. And
Hmm.
when the time was right, I asked Aurelio if I was authorized to teach the technique. I kind of sent him some documentation of how I was thinking about teaching this class, and he said, "Go ahead and do it." You know, um,
Yeah.
so it's been great. I started the first one was a live class,
Yeah.
um, which I did in my house. That group came together all of a sudden. It was not planned, and it was beautiful. And then because I have a full-time job, I could only do it over the weekend. So I was saying, okay, maybe people are spending money in plane tickets, transportation, accommodations to come to Charlotte just for a weekend
Hmm.
so they can take this class. Why don't I do it online?
Hmm.
Since I have an IT background, I'm also a systems engineer. I started testing different servers, see how I can create my own virtual classroom, and I came up with the perfect combination, right? The perfect
Hmm.
solution.
Hmm.
And I did my first online class with 3 people, and
Wow.
then
Yeah.
yeah, the next one were like 7, and then I had to put a maximum of 10 because the
Kept
online
growing.
class is I want to give like a real classroom experience. We all turn on our cameras and the microphones and interact with
Yeah.
each other like a real classroom. So I had to put a limit of 10 people per class. And what I never thought it was going to happen is that people from different countries were contacting me to learn this technique. But
Amazing.
but they were coming to me because of you. So thank you very much. Because they were coming to you wanting to learn what you do, and,
Yeah.
and you refer them to me.
So why don't you tell everybody like what actually introspective hypnosis is, because people
Hmm.
see our work, but what is it?
Right. So let me start by saying that introspective hypnosis is a method because it has different techniques within it. Um, Introspective hypnosis combines different techniques like forgiveness therapy, Ericksonian hypnosis. You have role change, past life regression, and what I call spiritual assistance, which other people call spirit releasement therapy. So we do deal with attachments and in a different way. We treat them with love and respect and affection. We're here
With love.
to help. Right. We're here to help our clients, incarnated spirits, and the disembodied as well, the attachments. Right. So
Yeah.
right.
The funny thing is sometimes the client comes and we end up helping, not only them, but 4 or 5 or 6 more.
Yeah,
Or
you end up helping a
thousands of
group.
more.
True. So introspective hypnosis focuses first on issues that supposedly happen in this life, psychosomatic symptoms, because those symptoms originated somewhere, maybe in the past memory, maybe in our childhood, or maybe in a past life, the way we died, or some phobias that we might have originated in a past life, and it is then when we go to looking for that past life. Some of the symptoms are not caused by any of those, but by the attachments. So that's when we use the spiritual assistance technique. So that is basically the difference with introspective hypnosis and QHHT, quantum healing hypnosis technique, because QHHT focuses more in past life regressions. So the clients that you get are a little bit different. QHHT, you have people in their spiritual awakening, they want to connect to their higher self. So it's a little bit different. With introspective hypnosis, you have people with fears, phobias, sadness, some symptoms, like one that I had recently, a woman getting migraines every week, almost every week, terrible migraines. And it ended up that in a past life, she was a man that died old because of a brain tumor. And and that man was in pain when he passed away. So she had somatized that to this life. And when she understood that, the headaches and migraines were gone.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is basically the difference. And even though there is a difference with what I do and what you do, we basically use the same techniques, right?
We do
In
the
different
same
order.
techniques. Yeah, different works. My work is more spiritual based.
Okay.
When people ask me or tell me, listen, I have a lot of phobias, this or that, there's a lot of hypnotherapists out there who can help you.
Right.
Somebody who says, I want to really, the whole idea is to stop smoking and lose weight. That's not what I'm here for. This is not my mission. My mission here is for the spiritual awakening that's going on right now. I'm here to help and assist with that. And so the people who are coming to me are people who are on board about this stuff already. We usually go to a past life. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we do go to this life. And a lot of my work is based on the spirituality.
Okay.
This is my bag. Okay.
Good.
And I do use the assistance of archangels, ascended masters.
I do as well.
This is what my whole thing is, and of course the spiritual assistance, as you said. Sometimes we do mass awakenings with and assistance with those. But what differs in QHHT is that there is, they don't believe in this spirit attachment stuff. In what we do more is hypnotherapy. We do therapy on the people. In QHHT, you don't do therapy on people. You just ask the questions. That's it. The higher self does everything.
Yeah.
So in our case, we get involved. If I have to remove implants myself, that's what I do. These are etheric implants.
What we do in common is funny that you mentioned this. Yeah, we do therapy on clients, but sometimes we end up doing therapy on the spirits, right? On the attachments.
Oh, absolutely. And the spirits attachments too. So we can go way back and do that. I call it the spiritual journey of forgiveness because that's my technique. That's what I consider it. Okay. And, you're doing the introspective hypnosis method, which is very much the same stuff.
And that name, Aurelio was calling it something else at the beginning. He didn't have any name for his technique. He was just calling clinical hypnosis, but in certain countries, you cannot say you practice clinical hypnosis if you don't have a license, right?
Correct.
So after brainstorming, it was decided to use the name in Spanish, Hypnosis Introspectiva, which is introspective hypnosis. And then it was changed to Hypnosis HAM, Hypnosis Aurelio Mejia.
Yeah.
And I was approaching Aurelio saying, Aurelio, I cannot use that name, in the US because Hypnosis Ham is like, ham means something else.
Like a ham and cheese sandwich.
Even if I put a period after each letter, it's like, but Aurelio,
Yeah.
Aurelio is a kind of person that would always tell you, Antonio, do whatever is best. Use any name you want.
Yeah.
Incorporate any techniques that you want. Make this technique your technique because it's gonna make it evolve. That is the idea. So that's how we stick. We just kept the name Introspective Hypnosis.
So I want to get back to the class because this is really the most exciting thing that we have right now. How long are your online classes right now? How long are they running?
Well, the online class is kind of 2 days and a half. It's intensive.
Okay.
We start on Friday. I do it on a weekend. This is for people that are working. So we start at 6 in the afternoon to 9 on a Friday. On a Saturday, we go from 9:30 to 5. And Sunday, the same thing. And we go fast. It is intensive. There's a lot of teaching, sharing experiences, showing videos. I do teach live inductions. I use my wife as subject, some model to teach inductions. And then I record the class. The class is available for them to review for a few weeks after the class. They also have some material where I have the inductions recorded, different techniques recorders, and then they can get access to the Facebook group. So we're always in contact, right? So because a lot of people say, how can I learn hypnosis in 2.5 days? I mean, you can get the concept, you get the idea, you get the principle, but it depends on how much you practice. But I know that we've been getting emails because the class that is going to have in September is not an online class. It's going to be a live class, and this time it's going to be a little bit longer. And I know you've been getting some questions. I've been getting questions as well, and this is why we decided to do this video so we can answer to those questions. I don't know if you have those questions handy. So
yeah, well, one of the things that people ask a lot is, do I need? Sorry, I turned off my phone, but not my iPad.
That's the price of being famous, you see.
and Siri is talking back to me. The question that most people are asking is, do we need previous hypnosis experience to do this class?
Okay, the answer is no. If you have it, perfect, great. That means it's gonna be, I don't know if I would say easier for you, but you really have an idea of what to expect when you come to this kind of class. But it is not necessary to have previous experience. I designed the class in a way that I will be teaching this from the basics, even different inductions, which is important to know at least 2 or 3 inductions. So no experience is needed to come to this class.
Okay.
I would prefer that people have experience because if you're already practicing a technique and you're trying to learn a new one, it's going to take some time for you to adjust from one to another one because you're used to doing things one way already.
Exactly.
And I have seen that happen to people that have been practicing QHHT for a while, switching to introspective hypnosis, because using introspective hypnosis, you take a more active approach with the client. It's just not asking questions. We jump and help the client. So again, the answer is no, you do not need previous experience.
Right. And the people who have come to me for sessions, I do not use the same inductions as you do because I use my own technique. So when you finish this class, we give you the basics. We give you the information, as to what you need to do to get the person into this trance. But it's really up to the person, the hypnotist, to practice and to use your own. Not every induction works on every person. You have to really gauge. There are some people who no inductions will work on them, if they're not ready to be hypnotized.
Right.
Okay. So Yeah,
Right.
we give all the tools, but you have to really make it your own and practice
Right.
so
One thing
much.
that I tell everybody, and that's what I prefer if they don't have any previous, not that I prefer, but it will make it easier, is I tell
Yeah,
everybody to stay away from scripts.
yeah.
You might have to read a script, maybe at the beginning while you're trying to make that script your own script, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes memorize the words and work on your voice. But the idea is that you should stay away from scripts because the induction has a life on its own, and it needs to be
Mm-hmm.
modified according to the response you're getting from your client. So
Mm-hmm.
that's number one. Number two is what you said. Not the same induction will work with everybody. So you need to
No.
be able to understand and see what kind of client you're getting and apply a different induction. Shock
Mm-hmm.
inductions, pattern interrupt, confusion inductions. There are different ones. And in introspective hypnosis, we don't force you to use a specific induction.
No.
You can use your own induction. The idea is that you get the client under and with whatever induction makes you feel comfortable with.
Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's it.
Now, one of the things is that people ask about after class, how will they be able to get practice sessions
Hmm.
and clients, once they learn this?
Right. Well, the answer is simple. It's like if you want to take piano lessons and you go to take a lesson for 5 days and you ask your teacher, will I be able to play the piano after I finish the class? It depends. If you practice, if you apply yourself, yes. There are some people that will be able to do this right after the class because they can use the script. I created visual aids,
Mm-hmm.
and I make recommendations on how to start practicing the inductions and how to start pulling people under. So yes, you can, but the truth is that it's going to take some time for anybody to develop the hypnotic voice. Number one,
Mm-hmm.
we cannot put people under using the same voice we're using right now. So you need to
No.
develop your own voice, and your own voice. It means that they cannot imitate you, they cannot imitate me. They have to find their own voice. It takes some time.
Mm-hmm.
Number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, they need to feel comfortable with the inductions, the words they use, the order in which they say the words, what I call the
Mm-hmm.
hypnotic language.
Mm-hmm.
And also on doing this induction with the client, because in inductions that I teach, sometimes we do touch the client. If we do shock induction, we have to touch the client. So, and we need to project that security to the client. So all
Mm-hmm.
those ingredients, they take some time. It takes some time to learn, but not to learn,
Mm-hmm.
to master. But you have to practice.
Yes.
So it depends. Actually, depends on the person on how much time they want to put on it.
Yeah. And how do they find clients after this?
Well, that is an excellent question. I remember when I first finished my QHHT class, I wanted to get practice sessions. And the first thing that I'm going to tell everybody, you try with your family, most of the time it is not going to work. As soon as you start changing your voice, they're gonna laugh at you, or they don't respect you as a hypnotherapist because they know you're just learning. So, or
Mm-hmm.
they might think that going under, they will be telling you some secrets that they do not want to reveal, which is not true. That
Right.
doesn't happen. So
No.
all those things will make that session not to work the way it should. So I live in Charlotte, which is part of the Bible Belt. You know, not everybody believes in this, so it was difficult.
Mm-mm.
Believe it or not, my cousin in Miami had to create a small group for me. They all pay a small fee. I bought my ticket. I went to Miami for a week, and I got my first practice sessions then.
Uh-huh.
So getting practice sessions is, I understand at the beginning is challenging, but
Mm-hmm.
now there's a website called quantumhealingpractitioners.com, which was created by Candace Crow Goldman, and
Mm-hmm.
Candace used to teach QHST with Dolores Cannon, and she was the creator of they, they're going back and forth. She calls it the original forum because it was the first forum that was created, and
Right.
it is true. And then now the QHST team created its own forum and is the official forum. So there are two types of forum. So anyway, Candace has this forum, and you have a lot of practitioners going there and exchanging a lot of information. But she also created a directory
Mm-hmm.
for different modalities, right? So this is for quantum practitioners, not only hypnosis. And
Yeah.
The idea is that you go to this website and you can list yourself for this directory. Introspective hypnosis is listed as a modality in that directory. What's more, Candace was kind enough to put introspective hypnosis free sessions. That way, if you list yourself for free sessions, you will be able to get people to practice. People are contacting already people that took the online class. They are practicing already. They're doing an excellent job, and they're getting the experience that they need. So the combination of the two, you get listed, you get your clients, you get practice sessions, you get access to the forum where all the practitioners, people that have been doing this for much longer, are already exchanging information.
Yeah.
Candace is giving 30-day free trial, which is great, and it's just $10 a month. If you don't want to be listed there's not a problem. You still have the Facebook group where I communicate and we provide support.
Yeah.
But it is the best way, is, in my opinion, is to be listed in that directory. Because the beauty of introspective hypnosis is that you're not only allowed to do it online, use your Skype or Zoom or whatever platform you want to use. I encourage people to do it. The technology is there. We have to use it. If you guys go to my channel, you will see sessions that I have done online, and it works the same, and it's safe, and nothing's going to happen. So people can get the experience they want and the practice sessions that way.
Good.
Yeah.
And one of the things that people ask me all the time is if I do Skype sessions, and I have done them before when we first started, remember? But I receive information from my guides, and it seems that I need to be with the client, because there's something about the energy exchange that I'm actually doing while I'm laying my hands on them. While I'm hugging them, there's something there that I need to do to go to these parts of the world. So it's part of my mission is to actually be with the person. And this is, I signed up for this, and this is the way I do it. But doesn't mean it doesn't work to do it over Skype either,
Yeah,
it's just a matter of choice for me.
Whatever makes you feel more comfortable. I mean, if you ask me, yes, I prefer live sessions, 100%. But what's going to happen if you don't get clients in your area or practice sessions in your area? Number one, what happens is somebody that is in need, needs your help, needs your skills, and is in a different country. So the only way to do this is over Skype. And when it comes to that, it is a great tool. I had sessions with people in Japan,
I remember.
So either or, you're not forced to do it online, but it is there. Well, what I'm trying to say is that you are allowed to do it online. Nobody's going to come after you. I'm not coming after you. Aurelio's not coming after you saying, what are you doing? Right?
Right. And it's safe. It's safe because, hypnosis, people have this concept of hypnosis like you're in a zombie state or something. In hypnosis, you're totally awake. You're conscious.
Right.
I had that on airplane mode. You're totally,
don't worry about
totally conscious, and you're awake. You know what's happening inside the room, outside the room. You're there. The only thing is that you are in a trance. And when, you're in trance when you go to a movie theater or when you're driving your car and you're daydreaming. People are in trance every single day. When you pick up that, at least
before you wake up and before you get asleep, at least
exactly.
Twice.
And have you ever looked around and seen all these people staring into their telephones? They are in trance. Okay? So when people ask me, what is hypnosis? Really, you put yourself into this trance state. All we do is that we push you a little bit farther and go with you so that you don't have to be worried about, anything.
Right.
So it's really, really easy to go into a hypnotic trance. It's that easy. You already do it yourself.
Yeah.
And so there's nothing to be, concerned about in hypnosis. It's a really nice state. And when people ask me, when I do my sessions and they ask me about the higher self, your higher self comes out all the time when you're giving people advice. Sometimes you'll be telling people things and you'll go like, how did I know that?
Where did that come from, right? And the other person tell you, oh my God, that is exactly what I needed to hear.
Exactly. And sometimes you say, that's what I needed to hear too.
Right. So
exactly.
So yeah, Skype is safe, and I explain to my clients, right? If we're working and you see that I'm not talking to you, Just open your eyes, do the connection. I'm going to count you down, and you will be in the
Yeah.
same state of relaxation.
Right.
And because
Right.
nobody stays in hypnosis, and they are not asleep.
They're
Nothing to
not
worry
asleep.
about. Yeah, nothing to
Right.
worry
Right.
about.
Exactly. So what's going to happen in this 5-day class? People are always asking me, what am I going to be doing there?
Well, that's my question. What are you going to be doing? Well, basically, this class it will be it's the same material that I use. Yeah, I will be adding some more stuff.
Yes.
It's the class will have the same structure, but there are two benefits. Number one, you have other people there, and we can practice. We can practice a
Exactly.
lot, and that is the idea, to practice. And you guys will be
Mm.
able to ask questions, a lot of questions. I like when people ask questions, and
Yes.
I can share my experience of whatever mistakes I made when I was studying, so that you don't make it and go faster. And then
Right.
the other great benefit is that you are going to be there. So whenever I explain a technique, you're going to be making comments on how you use that technique. So basically, for each
Yeah.
technique that we'll explain, you will get two point of views, right? Two ways of
Yeah.
applying it: the Alba's way, and Antonio's way. And you
Yeah.
decide which one is better, or maybe you combine them.
Right. And there's a lot of experiences that we both have gone through. I mean, I've had hundreds and hundreds of sessions. I have no idea how many I've had already. But when people come to me, for example, when they are practitioners or therapists or something that are practicing hypnosis already, I spend some time giving them my tips, which are very helpful. And this is what I plan to do in this class, is also give them these tips that I have
Absolutely.
found out, that when people are practicing this, we've lived through this.
Right.
I mean, listen, Antonio, you and I had to talk each other off the ledge many times, because there were times when we just wanted to give up. We wanted to give up because maybe we had a rash of really bad sessions that we didn't
We all
know,
go through that. Yeah.
right? And so we were there for each other to kind of like push each other along. It's going to be okay. The next one's going to be better. As we were learning this technique, and we can really talk to these people about this too during this
Yeah.
class, as to what to expect and how to help each other.
Right. Because, in my opinion, the idea when you go to a class is not for somebody to teach you a technique, but also the experience. Okay, I
Right.
apply this technique. This is how I did it. This is the challenges I faced. These are
Mm-hmm.
the different situations you might encounter.
Right.
And then you jump in and said, okay, and this is how I did it. This is the challenges I faced, and this is
Yes.
how I do it, and this is why I do it. So it's
Mm-hmm.
an added value. Is
Yes.
hearing for people that have been practicing this for some time, and it's going to help you not to make your learning curve. I mean, for people that come into the class, to make the learning curve not that big, because
Right.
they will be saving some time hearing on
Mm-hmm.
our own experiences.
Right. And we'll be able to practice while we're there live.
Right.
Do a lot of practice on each other, and
Yeah.
and the great thing is friendships. I mean, look, if you and I had not gone to that class
Networking.
together, we would
Yeah.
not know each other. We were meant to be there. So
It,
these folks who are going to take these classes, these are probably going to be lifelong friendships that they meet.
which is what happened not only to the two of us, but with the people we met at the QHHT class. We have
Exactly.
friends all over the world, and for
Yes.
people that are learning introspective hypnosis, that in the Facebook group, they're connecting, they're exchanging informations. You have friends for life, because there's
Mm-hmm.
no university for this. We depend on each other to help each other to grow, and
Right.
we came to this life to do this together as a team. So one thing that you will
Mm-hmm.
notice when you meet with people that practice this is like you feel that you have known them forever, which is
Forever.
weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. And that's why I always joke you're my brother from another mother, because it feels like, I've met my long lost brother, and I think you feel the same way.
True.
It's
Yeah.
that
My
it's
sister.
that close that we feel, and
Hmm.
it really is. We've gone through so many experiences together,
Hmm.
as we share stories,
Hmm.
and we're really both still on the same path as we
Hmm.
expand more and more.
Right.
So we hope
Yeah.
to share that with people.
Yeah. That is the idea. That is the idea. This is a community. The Facebook group, people you meet in class, the quantumhealingpractitioners.com website, where you have people practicing same modality you practice, or hypnosis in general. It is great, and it's been a great journey. I cannot complain. It's been great.
So Antonio, tell everybody how they're going to sign up for this class.
Well, they can go to my website. You will send that information in your newsletter, but they can go to my website, antoniosangio.com. I will put it here, antoniosangio.com, or it's www.antonio, ANTONIO, Sangio, SANGIO.com. You go to the events section. You will see that event that Alba and I planned. And then you have two options, right? If you don't want to make the full payment, just which you can make the full payment, you just choose the option to make two payments, and then you reserve a spot in this class. And it's going to be a great time, because Alba, it's not only that we'll be sharing this technique and experiences, we'll be able to practice, we'll be able to meet other people and exchange experiences after class. You will be able to meet with other people that practice hypnosis or are learning hypnosis. But also the idea is that I'm planning that for the last day, you do something on your own, right? We can do, if time allows, maybe you tell me, could do a group regression, or we can show the how to do, if time allows, a surrogate session, what I call telepathic sessions, which as a matter of fact, I uploaded one of those this morning. So you can do that as well. I mean, many things that we can do. We have plenty of time. We don't have to rush through the material. We don't have to rush through the practice, and it's going to be great. So yeah, again, just go to my website. You can make the payment. With that, you're registered, and it's going to be awesome. I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be
Right.
great.
It's like somebody told me, it's like paying for one class and getting two teachers. So, well, it's not that we're teachers. We're just two people that started doing this maybe a little bit before you, if you're watching this video, and we just want to share how we did it, what we have learned. And the idea is that you make this technique your own technique, and you apply it the way that it feels comfortable for you. But the goal is that you help people. We're here to help others,
Absolutely.
and you will get a lot of not only knowledge through the sessions. From the other side, you will get a beautiful feeling when you see somebody being healed, and liberating all those repressed emotions. So it's great.
Good. All right.
Good.
Until the next time, then. This has been fun. Okay.
It's been fun. So I hope we answered the questions that people have been asking, via email, and that we provided enough information. If you guys have any questions, feel free to send us an email and send Alba or me an email. In Alba's case, she's busier almost all day. So send me an email if you have any questions, and I'll be more than glad to answer to that email.
Terrific. All right,
Okay.
Antonio, until the next time.
Next
we'll
time,
talk.
we hope to see everybody in September. Have a great time.
Yes. All right,
Okay.
bye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Alba. Take care. Bye.
Bye.